everyone, and welcome to the Modron Supercharged Day of Streaming Sketching Hour 1 hour special, an hour earlier special. It's a special day. We're doing special things all about Modrons. If you've never watched the show before, hi. We're normally an hour later, but for today we're a slight hour earlier, and that's mostly because of the Modron Day of Streaming. What do? Well, we have these rolling tables and two amazing artists, and between those things, we're going to create creatures in an hour right there. Although, the hello is just adorable. I kind of want to just leave the hello up there. But
we're done. We did it.
There we go. We're done. 5 minute sketching hour. But we will go a little bit more in depth with our two amazing artists. Alexis, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm Alexis. I'm the art lead for Idle Champions, and I'm looking forward to drawing some Modrons today.
Yay! And Michelle, same question. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Michelle Papadopoulos, one of the artists at CNE, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some Modrons. They're kind of weird.
They are adorably weird and fun. In fact, we have updated the rolling tables. So normally it's a whole list of monsters, a whole list of adjectives, and a whole list of cute animals. But obviously today is all about Modrons. I'm going to point in the right direction. So I have been tasked with rolling the D6 to decide on these Modrons. Alexis and Michelle are each going to get their own Modron. And then they will be responsible for the adjective and the cute animal. So let us begin, shall we? So Michelle, I'm going to roll for your Modron first. I got a 3, so you got a Tridone.
Okay.
Tridone, yeah. Okay. And Alexis, let's see what you're going to get. You got a 2, so you got a Duodrone.
Nice.
And what do we get for adjective?
4 for goth.
All right, and what do we get for cute animal?
15 for lemming.
Wow. All right. Goth lemming Modrons. Sure. Why not? And there you go. If you've never been to the show before, now you know what the show is all about. Goth lemming Modrons. The funny thing about goth coming up, for those of you who were here 2 hours ago, we had paint and slay. We had a special paint and slay and where we were starting painting Modrons. And one of them, we started by completely covering it in black paint because of the awesome things that V is going to do. And we were joking about it being a goth Modron. And so now I'm like, well, I already have goth on the mind, so why not? All right, while our artists get started, I'm going to give a couple of other fun announcements. First, we have the amazing Martin in chat. Hello, Martin. Thank you for joining us. Martin is our moderator and our producer. They're going to be grabbing questions in chat, so if you do have anything that you want to ask, put question in big capital letters before your question so Martin can grab it. So if I miss it being said in the chat, we don't miss it. Also, if you were here for the not the sketching hour, for the paint and slay, you might have noticed that I lost the last 10 minutes of the show. I was just gone. And that's because I lost power, because here in the Pacific Northwest, every once in a while wind happens, and the Pacific Northwest doesn't know how to deal with wind. So I lost power. Fortunately, I got it back. Unfortunately, the entire Pacific Northwest is where all of us currently reside, and it's still windy. So there is a non-zero chance that one or more of us might just go away. We're going to do our best to hang out, but if that happens, please be patient. We will do what we can. So,
And Lauren is the linchpin, so if Lauren is the one that loses power, we're just gone.
Yeah, fortunately during Paint and Slay, V is the one who controls the stream. She's the one who's actually doing the producing. And so when I lost power, she just lost me. I'm the one doing the producing here. So yeah, it's less linchpin and more I'm the one with the internet stream happening. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But, you know, hey, look, we made it 4 minutes in and we're still doing okay. And finally, if you all are here for the Modron Supercharged Day of Streaming, which I will eventually say correct, you're probably here for this lovely Modron, Nordum, who is available in the game right now, and to celebrate all of the other fun things that have been added to the game along with Nordum, we have this special code, which will also be coming up in chat, which will give you some Modron goodies if you are If you are someone who is new to the game or hasn't gotten to the point in where you've unlocked the Modron stuff in the game, never fear. Go ahead and put in the code, get your Modron stuff. The game will remember that you have that, so that when you do unlock a whole bunch of Modron stuff and can start getting multiple parties and cores, it will say, hey, remember this awesome group of stuff that you got a little while back? Here you go. It will remember it for you. All right, that's all the announcements I have. Martin says that we all look good. Martin is doing awesome. How you doing, chat? Has anyone else lost power today? Anyone else in the Pacific Northwest and just keeping their fingers crossed? Yeah. Oh, Nick Nakis says, good, I'm new, and all this seems miles away. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're brand new, it can seem like there's a lot to do in the game, and there is, but, you know, it's fun, and depending on what you're interested in unlocking in the game, if you're interested in the story or in collecting champions or doing all sorts of other stuff, it can actually go pretty fast. So enjoy the ride, enjoy the travels. Oh, and I should show off. So this is the second week in a row that we've done something special. Last week was the anniversary, or not the anniversary, the game released a new adventure and adventure variant that included a version of Tiamat that was drawn on this show last year, affectionately called Tia What, in where our artist did essentially exactly what you see here, except instead of a complete creature, they did 4 of the 5 heads of Tiamat, and it was amazing. And so to celebrate last week, we did Tiamat Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. This is Tia Who. And I'm guessing it's the green head. Just every time the green head is the one I gravitate towards immediately. I mean, just the belting out that singing, it's so good. I don't know if I can describe. I don't know if I could really say anything else about Tia Who, but there it is. There's Tia Who. Maybe if we do another one of these, it'll become Tia Why and Tia When and Tia How. Let's go back here. Anyway, so yes, if you are new to our show, that's what's going on. True One Ahead is asking, did the song ever get finished? I mean, chat was coming up with that version of Bohemian Rhapsody, that fan version that had to do with Tiamat. So let me get a drink, because I'll say, I believe a whole bunch of people went to the discord.gg/idlechampions, and kept doing lyrics there.
Awesome.
Yeah. That was a fun time to look over and watch chat just singing as chat can do. A Banana Mobster is asking, I thought it was Tia Y. I thought we went with Tia Who, but you know what? I mean, it all works. I mean, there's really no any of them would work. Tia Who, Tia Where, Tia When, Tia Why. All of them are gonna work. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Heisty72 is spelling Tia Y in an interesting way. THIA space WYE. You know, this is what happens when you play Dungeons and Dragons. You essentially turn every name, no matter how blasé it is, into some weird D&D version of it.
As you should.
Mostly by adding Y's and apostrophes. That's a good way of doing it. I mean, that's how you turn Bob into Bob. And yes, those are 2 different spellings. Just one has a lot of apostrophes.
And a W.
and a W. Where would you put the W in Bob?
You can spell it BAW''B.
Oh, Bow.
Bow. It's pronounced Bob.
I feel like that's a regional accent thing, and I'm here for it. Baub. Oh, fantastic, Tanuki. Welcome. What we rolled is we're doing a Modron special. You're here just at the beginning. Michelle has a tridone. I want to say tritone because I'm a musician, but here we are. Drone. Wow. I'm going to get it. And Alexis has a duodrone, and they're making Goth Lemmings versions of these Modrons because Goth Lemming Modrons, because that's the show. Sharky151 says, Lauren, new cute critter suggestion, blue dragon sea slug. There's a blue dragon sea slug?
Time to Google.
Time to the Google. Here we go. Blue dragon sea slug. Ooh,
Oh, pretty.
that is really pretty. The sea swallow.
wow.
I kind of like the sea swallow. That's very erudite. You know what? We'll add the sea swallow slug because that's also nice and alliterative onto our list, because that's sea swallow slug. Because yes, why can't a slug be beautiful? Why not? Be cute, I should say. Excellent suggestion. If anyone else has suggestions, I will say what I'm running out of now is adjectives. We've gotten through a lot of cute animals last week. I got a lot of cute animal suggestions. Monsters, we're just gonna start going back to some other monsters because, you know, it's D&D. We only have a certain number of monsters. But I'm running out of adjectives, so I could use some suggestions there. John Wrench says, I'm a bit late. Cat Modron? You're not far off. Lemming. Lemmings and cats are the same thing, right?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, they've got whiskers.
Cat fur.
Cat, yeah. They both have that face.
They got their faces, their
face.
fur,
Yeah.
they have legs.
Hey, listen, you know, we're just starting the sketch. Let's see. Nick Nakis says, I have enough pieces to unlock a time gate. Ooh. I've only unlocked DM, Shaka, Kreidel, Dritzt, and Quillick. Who do I unlock next in a time gate for Gold Find? I love having DM and Jarlaxle's Gold Find combo. I mean, if you're going to ask me, my answer to every time gate is Orkira, but honestly, she's not a Gold Find champion, so she is probably not one of the champions that you're looking for. I'm still going to tell you unlock Orkira because she's awesome. Gold Find. So you already have... So, you know who I've been using a lot is Vi. Vi came out a little while ago. They're in slot 12. Vi is super fun. They have a blunderbuss that makes more gold happen. So Vi could be fun. I don't have the game up right now, so I'm having a harder time picturing everything. But yeah, that'd be my suggestion. Because Vi will not only speed up your gold find, but speed up the whole game. And also is awesome. Not as awesome as Orkira is, but who is? I'm not biased at all.
No.
Do either of you, I won't ask specifically about a gold find champion, but do either of you have a favorite champion? I don't know if I've ever asked. And you don't have to say Orkira, that's fine.
I usually go off of the art that I've done. Like, what's my favorite one that I've drawn?
That's fair.
But it's been a while since I've drawn a new champion because I've sort of passed that off to other members of the art team at this point. But
well, of the ones that you have drawn,
I always really liked Rosie Beestinger because I just had so much fun doing her attacks. And I guess the most recent one I did was Eliwick, and I was really happy with her as well.
Yeah. Eliwick's fun one to watch. Michelle, how about you?
Yeah, I go by the art too. I really like, I haven't really done many of the champions. I think I've only done one. But art-wise, I really like Groma. I just love turtles.
Ooh, yeah, turtles are fun.
Yeah.
Groma is one of my favorites, not just because she's awesome and grandmotherly and a fun tank, but Groma and Orkira are both the champions in where if you have them both in the formation, they just cover up the rest of the formation. Because Orkira has massive wings and Groma has the big shell, and the two of them are just like, you don't need to see anything else. No, don't. I feel a little bad sometimes. But yeah, those are super fun. We've got some suggestions coming in. Longtime Lurker suggests an adjective of baby.
Aw.
Little baby.
Baby? Okay, we can do baby. I was trying to come up with like childlike, but no, that's, I don't know.
Baby's good.
Baby.
That'd be a good one.
I'll add it to the list. And Jedesico suggests doomtastic, which I don't know if that's a real adjective or not, but I like it.
I like it too. It's open to interpretation, which I like.
For sure.
Very.
Doomtastic.
Doomtastic. Yes, not a real word, but we're gonna put it on there anyway. We're making up words. I mean, we're already making up creatures, so why not? Ooh, okay, so juvenile or infant. We've got some other baby suggestions. I don't know why baby, and I was like, do I want to put... I like where we're going. I wasn't sure about baby, but CF2 says juvenile, Devil Crayon says infant.
Yeah. Juvenile could be like a whole range of young. It could be like from baby to like teenager.
That's true. I think with baby, we're probably thinking like puppies, kittens, anything with big anime eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, we should put anime on the list.
Oh yeah.
Have we not had anime?
I don't think so.
That would be fun.
We're definitely putting anime on the list, and then yeah, if we end up with we won't end up with a baby anime, but that would be how you would get the big anime eyes. Oh, Nick Hamlin says persnickety, which is a fun word, but is an interesting adjective for a drawing show. What do you both think about persnickety?
I have to look it up. Like, what does it actually mean?
It basically means if you're very, very particular, if you're very, I'm gonna have a hard time describing it now. If you have a very refined taste, but it's almost too refined, like you're very, very picky. You know what?
Like type A personality, kind of like.
Kind of, but like persnickety has an annoying. In my experience, you don't call persnickety is not a good thing to call someone. But you know what? Let us go to the dictionary. Persnicketing, placing too much emphasis on trivial or minor details. Fussy. Fussy is the word I was looking at. So it's the idea of like you say that you were only gonna eat pasta at dinner, and so everybody goes out of their way to go to a pasta place, and then all of the pasta choices have a problem with them because of one minor little thing. Like that's someone who's persnickety. Yeah. There you go. The more you know. Welcome to the sketching hour where we all learn new words.
Yeah.
I learn new animals exist, and then I talk about new words. Persnickety is also, not that I'm good at Scrabble at all, because my spelling is bad. It's a good Scrabble word. Remus 2 has a whole bunch of suggestions. We got crystalline, fluorescent we've had. Was it fluorescent or luminescent?
We had bioluminescent.
Bioluminescent, yeah.
Okay. Is fluorescent different enough than bioluminescent?
Yeah, I think so, but
yeah.
Do we have those
We also have neon on the list, so I think like...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think fluorescent might be a little too similar to neon.
Right.
Yeah. We also have a partier, futuristic, elderly, and cartoony. Well, we put anime on there, and cartoons, I think, are a very different style than anime.
Mhm.
I say to the artists who probably know way more than I do. So yeah, let's get a bunch of those on here.
Yeah.
Elderly would be fun too.
Yeah. And I think like with cartoony, it like we did like a Muppet before, and if we've got anime, we might want to get a little more specific because technically most of the stuff I draw every week is kind of cartoony.
Yeah, there's so many styles of cartoony.
Mhm.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well, if anybody has any suggestions for styles of cartoon, let's try to avoid specifics for copyright reasons. You know, let's not have like the legally distinct Simpsons version going on. Give us, you know, a milieu, you know, like comic book style, or you know, yeah, something like that. Let's see. Devil Crayon suggests, I think it's chitinous. Chitinous. It's not chitinous, right? It's chitinous?
I think it's chitinous.
Oh, yeah.
Could be.
Cat's Tea Sweaters does say, I thought Young Old Dryad Lion was already done. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's been a long enough time since Young Old, and I think because there was a choice there, and this time it's elderly, and that has slightly different connotations, I think it's okay. But you are correct. A Lousy Bum suggests, have you done anything like scholarly, bookish, inquisitive as an adjective?
We had the scholarly Grit Gloma, and then we have bookish on the list right now.
Yeah, you have excellent suggestions. I know, because they're already on the list. This is the hard part. If you're new to the show, this is always the hard part, is coming up with new stuff for the lists. Because you'd be surprised how quickly, in 46 episodes, you can go through a lot of words. Especially since it's not just what we've already gone through, but then because it's a D20 worth of suggestions to roll on, you have to think, all right, now we've gone through 66 suggestions. Wow, I haven't done that math. That's surprising, actually. See, now we're getting... See, the Fragile suggests in the style of Todd McFarlane, which might be too specific, but then Edelon comes along and says the Golden Age comic book style. Is that kind of close enough?
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh.
Yeah. So slightly more simple, very primary colors, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that could be really fun.
Of comics.
Never drawn in that style before. It would be
Me neither.
interesting, like challenge.
Yeah. Garwar also mentions in the style of Cuphead, which
Oh, that would be cool.
What would you call that style though? Because once again, legally distinct
Yeah.
Cuphead.
Yeah. Well,
There's-
the
it's like-
Fleischer animation style. But there might be a specific name for that animation style. But
Pretty
that's,
sure there is a specific name. It's just
Sonic Blade 95 says Rubber House animation. Does that sound familiar? And now is the time and where we all do research.
yeah.
Yeah,
What color?
rubber hose.
Oh, rubber
style.
hose.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paraloo is also saying rubber hose style.
Yeah.
There's also
Yeah.
8-bit and Polygon. Mitch Hiker suggests. So, okay, we have a couple of suggestions. I'm going to put down rubber hose style comics. And I bet you in about 3 weeks, I'm going to look back at that and go, what the hell? What's rubber hose? I know it's going to happen. Maybe by saying this out loud, I'll remember. And I also want to put down 8-bit and Polygon. I think 8-bit and Polygon are kind of the same thing, but I'll put them both down.
yeah, I'm not sure if we could really do 8-bit with this program.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, is like how hard some of these, like pixel art might be hard to do.
Exactly. I think Pixar would be a little too difficult to do in this program.
It would just take a long time to
Yeah. Like, oh, look,
get all those
maybe-
little. Yeah.
It's just 5 hours of watching you draw tiny little squares.
Yeah.
Tiny little squares. I mean, unless you wanted to do very simplistic Minecraft style, and where, the blocks in Minecraft are made up of smaller little pixels, but you could just be like, and block for head and block for, but that feels like that's not the exact same.
No.
Okay, we can't just so the idea is we don't want to have to say legally distinct so and so. So just saying legally distinct before the thing doesn't actually make it better. These are excellent suggestions, but I need something where I don't have to say, I don't want to have to put in the title legally distinct. I feel like that is going to be weird. Ooh, chibi might be what I was thinking with anime. Like anime, I think can be much more, I'm going to say adult, but I mean like stylistically. And then there's some of the comic stuff that we're talking about, but chibi is going to give you those big eyes.
Yeah. We should have both, but like at separate times.
Yeah.
Both, but at separate times. I like
yeah,
that.
like not on the list at the same time.
I will do my best.
Because I really want to turn a monster into like a Sailor Moon, Sailor Scouts. So.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's fun. I love that idea. I feel like if we weren't already doing something special next week, I'd be like, we're doing this next week.
Yeah. Sailor Scout.
Yeah, it's just Sailor Week. I should mention, so we are doing another special next week when we return to our normal time, which is 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific on this channel on Wednesdays. Next week, we're going to be doing a special that is in coordination with the Canadian Food Bank. We're working with BioWare in Canada in order to raise money for the Canadian Food Bank, and we're going to be drawing characters pulled out of a hat of people who have donated in order to have their character drawn. So it won't be rolling on the rolling tables. It'll be pulling character ideas out of a hat. And you can go. Let me pull up that link real quick if we don't have it at the ready, because I know where it is. Here we go. The Games for Groceries tweet. So if you are interested in potentially having your character drawn, maybe by Michelle and Alexis, maybe by one of the other amazing artists that are going to be participating in this, you can go to that link. If you're listening to this from YouTube, go to the Gamers Groceries Twitter account, and they will have all of the information you need. You fill out a Google form, you do a donation, and then one of your characters will be drawn. It'll just be at random who gets a chance to draw it. And so that's what we're doing next week, is a fun thing, and it's an excellent organization, Gamers for Groceries. Definitely go check them out, and I'm going to make sure... yes, John Reemish is in chat, and says, if you donate $25 Canadian, which is about 20 US, you can get a commission and a chance to be drawn on the sketching hour. So you will get a commission. And then it might happen right here in front of you. So yeah. Oh, and thank you for coming to ask us to team up. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
It's going to be a nice change of, I'm going to say it's a nice change of pace, but I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. It's basically Michelle and Alexis are going to be doing something completely different. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's a nice change of pace and not, oh, shoot, we suddenly have to do commissions. But it sounds like a lot of fun, and it sounds like lots of characters, and it's an amazing cause. So that is next week. BioWare Edmonton. Thank you. I didn't have the information at my fingertips, and I was like, I'm just going to say Canada, which is a very small place. And if I say Canada, y'all know exactly where I'm talking about in Canada, right? It's been a day. 1-2 was 1-2 says discombobulated. Just love that word, and I feel very discombobulated right now. I don't know how you would draw that, but I'm putting it on the adjective list. It is a fun word. B-O-B-U-L-A-D. I hope I spelled that correctly. If I didn't, Google will yell at me. Ooh. Netherwave83 says, a Modron in mid-magical girl transformation. Sailor Faerun.
Oh.
That's impressive. I like that. I like that a lot.
We could just have magical girl on the list too.
That's true. Magical, that is a generic enough term.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all will know what we're talking about. It'll be great.
A magical girl gelatinous cube.
I mean, oozes are about to become races in D&D with Spelljammer, so why not? Why not an ooze in a magical girl? Ooh, what class would an ooze play in order to have a magical girl transformation? That'd be a warlock?
I think there's a few different options. Warlock, maybe like a druid. Like instead of transforming into an animal, it transforms into a human.
Another human with a more fabulous dress. There's, oh yeah, Supply215 says a barbarian, rage as a magical girl. I love that your magical girl transformation is your rage. I need to make that character now.
I know, I was just thinking of like next character, magical girl barbarian.
Yes. And then you don't fly into a rage, you fly into fabulousness, and you whack people over the head with how awesome you are. I'm here for this. Why hasn't someone's probably made this character, but I'm gonna make them too.
It just makes sense.
Yeah, I love alternate takes on barbarian rage. Any chance to make barbarian rage be something? I mean, it's fun to do the whole, gonna yell and just go and just go after someone kind of in a in mindless fun, but it's also fun to come up with different ways that you can access your powers as a barbarian. Yeah, Reaver01 says magical girl whirling dervish would make more sense. Well, that would be a rogue. That would be a swashbuckler rogue. So a more refined version, like a two-weapon wielding swashbuckler rogue. That could be cool. And then you could have you could have a variety of clothing options for like magical men and magical non-binary and magical everybody, and you can be, I mean, Jarlaxle is basically a magical girl transformation all the time, right? With the hat and the feather and everything.
Yep. What's that cloak where you can change it?
The Cloak of Many Fashions.
Yeah, got your Cloak of Many Fashions.
Yeah. Cloak of Many Fashions and a hat of disguise, and there you go. Anyone can be a magical person transformation. All right, we are halfway through already, which is, I always am surprised how quickly this goes. We're far enough into this amazing art that I'm gonna ask. And this might be a little easier this week because I know on Champions of Lore, they talked all about Modrons and the Great Modron March. The event is live, so some of you have had a chance to play in the Great Modron March. So I'm going to ask, how do you end up with Modrons that look like this? How do you end up with Modrons that instead of being your normal mechanical versions, you end up with goth lemmings? Every time I say it, it's great. So yeah, what is this, like a special version of is like a special pod of Modrons? I don't know what you call a group of Modrons. That's probably something else I should look up. What do you call a group of Modrons? No, not a binary. What would you call a group of Modrons? Chat, what would you call a group of Modrons?
I bet there's an actual name for it.
Oh, well, you know what? I will Google that, although Garwer says a TikTok, and I know that's not the answer, but I love it anyway. What do you call a group of Modrons? Nope. Google wants to give me a group of dragons.
What's a group of dragons?
Oh. They live in rigid numerical units, called units. They're units. I think that's what I'm seeing. So yeah, I think it's a unit of Modron, which would actually make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Chaser 43 says a group of Modrons is a march, of course. That's a very big group of Modrons. Oh, so we learned earlier today on Champions of Lore that Modrons subsist on something called psychomorphic gel.
What? Oh.
Yes.
How did they get that?
There is no more information on what exactly psychomorphic gel is.
Okay.
So there were some interesting conversations about that. But Devil Crayon remembers this and says they ran out of psychomorphic gel and had to learn to sustain themselves from the local fey lemmings. So these are carnivorous. And that's why they're goth.
Okay.
Ooh.
I like it.
That's
The lemmings do not.
No, the lemmings are very upset. I mean, lemmings kind of get the short end of a lot of sticks in popular media.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. CF2 suggests a megabyte of Modrons. That's also really good.
Mm-hmm.
TB Zoo says Modron March went through the Beastlands and caught lycanthropy. Okay, is it lycanthropy or is it lemmingcanthropy? No, that's being turned into lemons. Lemmingcanthropy? I'm gonna go with that and not say it again. Yeah, we have a couple more people. Queen Gorgle 1 suggests Modrons stuck in a plane like the Beastlands. Where lemmings? Thank you, Sailnit. I should have said that. They've caught the thing that you get from were lemmings. That does beg the question, how do you get were lemmings? But the answer to that is you just get bit by a lemming. And now we're just down a rabbit hole. Or down a lemming hole. Yeah.
I was gonna say a lemming.
Oh, or Evil Turnip 1 says, maybe they are trying to blend in with a group of were lemmings. So going for an alternative approach. Although, if these are goth, I almost said goth were lemming Modrons. They're already were somethings in my mind. Goth Modrons. Would they really try to blend in? I kind of like the idea of they're subsisting on lemmings, and that's why they're goth. They're so serious about it. Yeah, Fibulator brings up, I'm surprised we got this far before someone brought up the lemmings running off a cliff. If you don't know this, that is 100% not true. That is 100% a Disney fabrication. Lemmings do not go running off of cliffs at the slightest provocation. That was, I don't remember all the details, but Disney was filming something many years ago, and they just scared them off the cliff, and that became the thing. Yeah. No, it's
like, I do remember seeing them going off a cliff, but yeah. Oh no, they were just pushed off.
Sad.
I think it was just they were scared or herded. They were forced. That was not a thing that actually happened. They were forced to do that, and that's how the popular myth came that lemmings just jump off of cliffs.
Oh man.
When you think about it, it makes sense for that to not be true, because if you have a creature whose natural inclination is to throw itself off a cliff, natural selection is going to make that creature not exist anymore.
Yeah, wouldn't last very long.
Yeah. Yeah, Reaver01 says they scared a bunch of lemmings to jump off a cliff. I don't remember what the thing they were filming was that they needed that to happen, but it was also like the 40s, the 50s, like, you know, who knows what they were trying to do. But yeah, that is a popular myth that even to this day persists. Ooh, Regwin04 says planar shift. and it went wrong, and they fused when the lemming with a lemming wearing goth clothing.
Or maybe it was like a triple fusion, so a Modron, a lemming, and a goth.
Or maybe it's that a Modron, a lemming fused, and that's what made them goth. Because now look at me. I am now black eyeliner. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if that's a thing that can happen in plane shift. I do know teleport, the spell teleport, there is a very small chance. There's a 50% chance it can go kind of wrong. There is a very, very, very small chance that it can go really, really, really wrong. Like that you just end up in a cliff. You just end up in rock. I'm gonna look this up real quick because I remember this being a thing. Teleport. There's like a whole... Yeah, so you can be on target, off target, a similar area, or you can have a mishap. The spell's unpredictable magic results in a difficult journey. Each teleported creature or the target object takes a bunch of force damage, and you reroll on the table to see where you wind up, because multiple mishaps can occur. So yeah, you can end up in bad places. So if teleport went wrong, oof. Ooh, I've got... thank you. Martin has clarified that the Lemmings thing was a Disney documentary on lemmings. So that's why everybody thought this was true, because they were making a documentary about lemmings and then made this happen. And people went, well, it's in a documentary, it must be true.
What was their thought process? Like, let's make a documentary about lemmings to teach people about lemmings, but let's get them to fall off a cliff. Like, what was the point?
But let's lie. I don't know. I think I don't know. I'd have to look more into it. I could imagine unscrupulous people saying, well, this documentary about these lemmings is really boring. Let us do something to spice lemmings up. Last week I was doing a documentary about lions, and now I'm doing lemmings, and this is just boring. Let's herd them off a cliff. I don't know.
Oh, they're just so cute. I think, like, you know, with a lot of animals, you could just have like a streamed camera on them for like forever, and people would just watch because they're like, oh, so fuzzy,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's even those. There's a bunch of cameras on for both YouTube and Twitch, and we're like, hey, watch my fish swim around in my aquarium. Hey, watch my chickens eating food. You know, things that are just like very calming and something you don't necessarily have in your own life, but isn't really exotic, like, you know, a bunch of chickens or something. Eldalon is coming in with the facts. All right, we ready? Some of the most memorable scenes in White Wilderness, Disney's 1958 Academy Award-winning true life adventures nature documentary about wildlife. I'm kind of proud that I pegged the 50s. From the snowy northern portions of the North American continent were ones featuring lemmings' suicide, the death of lemmings who drowned after jumping off cliffs and into the sea. But the scene shown in the documentary were staged by filmmakers in order to replicate supposed real-life behavior of lemmings that could not be captured on film. And thus, the thing became facts that crowds of lemmings just ran off of cliffs into the sea. There you go. A survey of Arctic flora and fauna. Man. Documentaries were wild back then. I am so glad that is not true.
Yeah.
And all that's really happened is a lemming and a Modron have had a teleportation accident and are now the most awesome goth on the planet. Look at those spikes. I love the little spikes on the feet. And I love all the eyeliner around the eyes. That is amazing.
Yeah. I stole the smudgy stuff from Michelle's. I was like, ooh, good idea. I also want smudgy eyeliner.
I think that's also a very normal thing in real life. Ooh, I want smudgy eyeliner. Let me just borrow that. Wait, let me do that too. That looks really good. Oh, and Fibulator says, the fuzzy of Michelle's is incredible. Looks so natural. Both look incredible. And done in less than an hour.
I think mine needs something on its head, though, and I'm not sure what.
Well,
Maybe like one of those tiny hats, like.
but okay, my instinct is yes, absolutely, always do a tiny hat. But is a tiny hat goth?
I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I picture a goth with like a tiny little.
Like a tiny top hat could be goth.
Yeah.
Maybe just some like black hair.
And flopped over on one side.
Stringy. Yeah.
Stringy black hair.
Stringy black hair.
That is covering half of one. Well, I don't want to cover those awesome eyes, but yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Why does a Modron have hair? Don't ask.
Because it wanted it.
Eldon says a hood would be goth. That's true, but
yeah.
But once again, that'd be covering up a lot of the awesome art that we already have.
Yeah, we'll just do some hair strands.
Regwin suggests any piercings. I'm sorry. Do you see all these spikes? Those are piercings. They're just the most hardcore of piercings.
I'm gonna add a piercing to mine. Good idea.
There you go. All right, we are coming up on the end of this show because we have to end on time. Not that we haven't ended on time before, but we usually get a little extra time because we're usually the last thing in the day. But today we are not. After us is Garwar, who's going to be doing a very, very special Garwar's Guide to Everything, a 2-hour special talking about everything. So stick around for that. Garwar is a font of knowledge about a bunch of awesome things. And remember, oh, poor Garwar just said, I just frantically looked at the time and I thought it was late. Nope, you are on time. Also, hi TTRP Gifts. And they said, do these Modrons listen to My Alchemical Romance? Yes. Also, remember to pick up, and I'm going to cover up this amazing art for just 1 second. Remember to pick up your Supercharged Day of Streaming special code to get you 3 Modron component chests and a whole bunch of Modron component pieces so that you can do Modron stuff with your Modrons. Have I said Modron enough today? I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. Also, we made it through the show and nobody lost power.
Woohoo! Well, we still got a few minutes left. When you end, you should just like be like, and so that's about all, and then just like end it abruptly.
And just stop it and be like, guess what?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If that's the case, then we better get to our outro in an expedient manner so that we don't tempt the fates anymore. As you finish up these last couple of things, Alexis, where can people find more of your amazing art?
I'm on Twitter at AlexisThero and on Instagram at alexis.thero.
And Michelle, as you're finishing up this amazing boot that you're adding.
I was going to put all boots on. I might do that later.
That's a lot of boots. I kind of like the idea of just one boot. Just one. Is that not emo? Is that not goth right there? Anyway, where can people find more of your amazing art?
I'm on Instagram at Michelle Papadopoulos and on Twitter at Art of Michelle.
Awesome. And you will find me on Twitter as Obolorand, where I post other people's amazing art, like these 2 amazing artists, because all of the art that I do is stick figures. But that's okay, because, you know, I like showing off other people's art. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this very, very special sketching hour for the Modron Day of Streaming. Thank you to Martin for being our amazing moderator, and as always, doing a lot of research behind the scenes, because it seems like on a weekly basis, questions come up and Martin has to go, like, trolling through the internet library trying to figure out answers to stuff. Today, it was a documentary from Disney. Next week, who knows? So thank you, Martin. We appreciate all of your hard work. Thank you to everyone in chat for helping us create these fabulous creatures. And we will see you next encounter. Bye.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.